This is Twit.
LG confirmed it will mass-produce flexible OLED display panels for smartphones up to 6 inches in size. Panels are 0.44 millimeters thin and weigh 7.2 grams. While the screens are flexible, built on a plastic substrate instead of glass, they are expected to be built into rigid cases, meaning the screen may be bent, but it will be fixed in one position. So no roll-up phones yet.
But we've got a trend here. Samsung is reportedly set to announce a curved display smartphone known as the Galaxy Round as soon as this week. This is coming from Korean news site Asia. The phone would use a plastic display rather than one made of glass. Now, this report follows a comment made by a Samsung executive back in September that confirmed such a phone, and Samsung has already filed for a trademark for the Galaxy Round name itself.
The Nexus 5 might be the worst kept secret in tech right now. Android police just found the near final draft of a 281-page service manual for the Nexus 5 made by LG. The manual sheds more light on the Nexus 5 specs: 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes for storage, 8-megapixel camera with optical image stabilization, a 4.95-inch 1080p display. Android police, though, they took down the images of the manual at LG's request, which makes this thing seem a lot more legitimate.
I know, it's like a confirmation at this point. The NSA has been working to break the security and anonymity of internet privacy tool Tor. According to documents Edward Snowden provided the Washington Post and The Guardian. Tor, which stands for the Onion Router, encrypts traffic repeatedly in layers, hence the onion thing. The NSA did not break that encryption, but succeeded in diverting users into insecure channels by blocking the network or by staining anonymous traffic as it entered the network, allowing them to tell when it left the network. Roger Dingledine, one of Tor's principal designers, believes these methods could only be exploited against a relatively small number of users.
Twitter's rolling out its Nielsen TV Twitter rating system in the U.S. today after announcing a partnership with TV ratings tracker Nielsen last year. It'll show both the number of tweets mentioning specific shows and the number of accounts those tweets reach. Nielsen and Twitter aren't saying just how many TV networks or advertisers are currently signed up to use the new rating system, but the New York Times notes Twitter's IPO mentioned television 42 times.
42, magic number. There are some new images of the HTC One Max floating around, Sina Weibo. The latest pics show a fingerprint scanner that would be placed directly below the rear camera. The pictures are in line with the forum post on Android Central that claims Verizon staff in the U.S. are being trained on the HTC One Max with a fingerprint sensor.
Is the Surface really sold out? And if so, what does that mean? Wednesday, Microsoft claimed pre-order stock of the 64-gigabyte Surface 2, the 256-gigabyte and 512-gigabyte Surface Pro 2 models were close to selling out. And then Sunday, the 128-gigabyte Surface Pro 2 was listed as out of stock. But by Sunday night, it was back in stock again. And Microsoft, if you remember, indicated sellouts of its original Surface RT as well, but then ended up having to write down $900 million in excess Surface inventory back in July. Surface Pro 2 and the Surface 2 will ship October 21st.
Athletes and spectators attending the Winter Olympics in Sochi this coming February should probably get ready for some hefty surveillance, according to documents shared with The Guardian. For example, Russia's FSB security service plans to take advantage of newly installed telephone and internet spying capabilities to give free rein to intercept any telephony or data traffic and even track the use of sensitive words or phrases mentioned in emails, web chats, and on social media.
Makes that whole "world is watching" phrase a little more ominous, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The FBI seized the Silk Road online marketplace and 26,000 bitcoins belonging to Silk Road customers last week. The almost 600,000 bitcoins that are held by the site's alleged operator Ross Ulbricht have proven more difficult to take. The FBI has access to Ulbricht's Bitcoin wallet, but they do not have the private key to open the wallet. So it's kind of like having the safe, but you can't get into it to get to the money. Still, that's about 5% of all Bitcoins in circulation, and the FBI has indicated they plan to sell the Bitcoins if they ever get them out of the wallet, I guess.
Microsoft's facing some backlash over recycling Outlook.com email addresses. Outlook's service agreement says a user would have to sign in periodically every 270 days, or that account may be deleted. The user policy says nothing about deleted account names being reused. Microsoft told PC World that after a total of 360 days after deletion, the email account name is made available again. This is causing some privacy concerns, similar to when Yahoo announced it was freeing up email addresses for its email service.
I'm assuming if I'm sign into Microsoft Live elsewhere and don't sign into Outlook, I don't lose my email address. But I don't know. That's kind of daunting.